Hey guys, how's it going? Sifu Adalik, Master Instructor at Niagara Kung Fu Academy. I wrote a blog this week that got some pretty good feedback, and in case you're too lazy to read, I thought I'd just basically talk about it. So it's a crazy time right now with all the Rona and the brouhaha, and it can be very hard to be productive. So I made this video to help if you find yourself a little bit in a rut and you find it hard to get excited and motivated to do anything. It happens quite a bit, and it's kind of part of what we're going through right now. But I wanted to give you some tips on maybe how to help you through that have been useful for me, and I've been kind of giving this advice to other, some of my students are black sashes. But this kind of COVID situation has made this kind of a polarity where you have some people say things like, if you didn't learn a language or master a craft or start your online business during that lockdown that we had, then you didn't really lack time that you thought you did, you just lacked discipline, right? That's kind of like one polarity. And then you've got this other polarity that was a meme I saw and then on the internet, and then I saw like an opposing meme where they just kind of scratched all that out, and it was like, no, that's not true. You didn't need to do all that. You just needed time to kind of be sad and take care of your mental health and take care of what's important to you and grieve if that's what you wanted to, and you're not okay and I'm not okay, and that's okay. And that's another polarity, and I'm not like siding with either one of those. I'm just understanding both of those positions. So either boat you're in, I still, I care about you and I want what's best for you, and I have no right to judge you. I just wanted to give you a couple thoughts that were running through my head that I found helpful. So I encourage my students, especially my black sashes, to always have a notebook with them, right? And whenever they can, just for writing down ideas or planning their day or whatever it is. When they wake up in the morning early, I suggest they make a pot of tea and find a quiet spot. Don't look at their phone for like the first at least half hour, and just plan their day, do a little meditation, write down their goals for the day, and write down the tasks that they need to do to work towards those goals, and make sure that every day they've got some tasks that are supporting their long-term goals, right? So for some people that are driven, that works great. For other people, that can be really discouraging, especially at a time like this when it's easy to kind of have that what's the point attitude, right? Because it seems like a lot of things are working against you, and that's understandable to have that. Sometimes you need a day off and to just sit in your pajamas and eat craft dinner, and sometimes you take a couple craft dinner pajama days. Sometimes you might even take a week and you have no motivation, and as your list of goals and tasks kind of add up, it gets more daunting, it gets more intimidating. Dishes are piled up really high, laundry is like exploding out of the hamper, overfilled, and the downside of being kind of a hyper motivated person is that when you have a list of goals and aspirations and big dreams and a well thought out master plan on how you want to consciously design your life, sometimes you can look at the whole picture and get inspired to take action, and other times you look at the whole picture and you're like, this is way too much, I don't even know where to start, and you're just like, nope, I'm not doing anything, right? Because you have no starting point. Everything about getting started, just everything you had that you could start, you come up with an excuse for why that won't work, and it's just too hard to kind of just get even moving. So it can be hard sometimes to build up momentum. Think of like a jet plane, right? When a plane takes off, a lot of the fuel it expels is like from that first, the first part of the trip. It takes a lot of energy for that thing to get up in the air, up to cruising altitude. But once it's there, it's got that, it's at cruising altitude. It just cruises along. It takes a lot less energy once it's moving, and once it's at that higher altitude, right? And momentum works a lot of the same way, right? Once we start building up momentum, it's a lot easier to get some of these things done. But when this is the case, when it's hard to get moving, what I recommend doing is not having a to-do list, because when you look at that to-do list and it's daunting, especially if you haven't worked at it in a while and it piles up. Sometimes having a to-do list can be, just like getting punched right in the face when it comes to your mental health. But it doesn't mean that you just accept the situation and the way it is and sit there and do nothing. You can empower yourself to do something about it. So in that case, I recommend what I call a to-start list, right? Not a to-do list, but a to-start list. And that's a start list of just a checklist of things that you don't have to finish, but you just have to get started, right? So when you don't have to finish it, there's kind of like the pressure's off a little bit. You see, sometimes when you look at the whole list that you have, you think of any item, and that item might take you like an hour or two of your time. And you think, well, I don't have a whole hour right now. And you're thinking about the whole project and how you can't even see yourself setting aside that time. And you can't block off an hour because, you know, in between going to your job, eating, picking up the kids, dropping off the kids, dealing with phone calls, you know, answering emails and all that stuff, you just can't block out the time to complete one whole task, right? And that deters you from even trying any task. So the more those items get piled up on top of new things, that keeps getting more overwhelming for you, right? So a start list is instead just a list of things that you have to start, but not necessarily things you have to finish. So there's no pressure. For example, you need to do the dishes, right? And they pile up so much that like the dishes are now overtaking the counter, and the other half of the counter that's not overtaken yet is just about ready to like lay down arms and surrender. And the pile's gotten out of hand. You know that doing the dishes is going to take you more than an hour, so you can't think of like possibly blocking up that time, so you're not even going to get started, right? So when you put dishes on the start list, all you need to do is you need to start. You need to wash one dish. That's it. Just wash one. Don't worry about piling the whole thing, getting the whole thing done. Just put on your list, wash one dish. That's all you got to do, just enough to get started. After you've washed one dish, you can choose to wash another one, or you can cross that off your started dish, off your to start list. You can cross off started the dishes, because technically you started, that's it. Now what are you going to do after that, right? You're going to just crash down back on the couch. You can give yourself permission to do that because you started it, right? But it's likely that you'll have a little bit of momentum now, and you'll want to either take on another task to start, or you might want to wash a second dish. And if you wash a second one, you might want to wash the third one. You wash the third one, you might want to wash a fourth one. And if not, that's okay. But after you cross that off your start list, your brain gets that little tiny little hit of dopamine that will make you feel just a little bit better. And if you decide to wash another dish, you'll get some more momentum. Right? When you do with momentum, whatever you do with that momentum is up to you. You'll feel more encouraged to start another item on your list, or like I said, tackle a few more dishes, right? Whether it's dishes, or whether it's filing your taxes, or whether it's calling prospects to get new clients, whatever it is, it'll work to build up your momentum, right? Which is way better than any drug at curing that kind of overwhelm, right? And I share the dishes example because that's the way that my dad actually taught this to me. He taught me this trick, and I've used it. I've used it during this, you know, kind of difficult time to keep my business going and growing, even during the pandemic. Right? It's kind of a little hinge that swings a big door. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed tomorrow morning, you know, wake up, make your tea, make your coffee. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at the news. Don't look at your news feed. Just spend 10 minutes quietly making your to start list. All right, and then see how it goes, and no pressure. Just start something. Don't even look at finishing it, and see how that works for you on building up momentum. Okay, so if you found that useful, please feel free to share it to someone else that might find it useful as well. Okay, and if you're curious to see how we can help you, you know, build up some good momentum with a positive habit in our holistic kung fu program, feel free to comment below or reach out to us for a free 2-week trial. We'll give you 2 weeks of classes, either in person or virtual class if you want, and we'll start that off with a free private lesson with one of our instructors. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you later.